Good morning and welcome to the Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on our Facebook page. Along with producer Alden Iwani, I'm Ed Nunez, your host. Our very special guest today is Cobre Indians volleyball girls coach Julie Gutierrez. Her Indians are ranked number 2 in Class 3A with a record of 9-2, state runner-ups last year. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You know, Coach, I was able to see a little, I told you I'm the voice of Western. So I think anytime I see something with Cobre, and I passed by that, we passed by Cobre on the way into town, Howie Morales Field, man, and I saw Lieutenant Governor Morales on the plane about 2 years ago. We take a plane back and forth once in a while, that little puddle jumper I was telling you about. So I've never stopped at Cobre, though. There's been no reason to stop, right? Because, we don't cover Cobre, but I know I had some friends in Albuquerque that went to Cobre, a number of years ago. But when I saw your clip, and I was, and you were saying, and we'll get to it later, that your team was not the tallest team, that you work on your verticals. There's certain things you have to work on. I was like, I want to get Coach Gutierrez on, and you're 9-2 so far this season. You've got your arch rival down the way, the Silver, coming up on. Is that Silver next? Do you have on your schedule?
Yeah, we play them on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. You've got them next. Tell us so far how we're going to go get into all your stats. Your daughter. Man, what a wonderful player she is. And I asked you, she's only a sophomore, and I asked you if Coach Frigoli is recruiting her yet from Western, and not yet. But I'll tell you one thing, I want to put a bug in Gino's ear, man, because, I see him all the time, quite a bit, more than he probably wants to see me. But go ahead, Coach. Tell us a little bit about where the Indians are so far this season.
Well, we have a really dynamic team. I feel like we're a little bit different than we were last year. We have a lot of girls that are contributing. The thing about this team is that they work really, really hard. Every single day, everything that they do, they go 100%, and that's kind of the culture that we've been trying to build the last, this is my 4th season with Cobre. Over the last 3 years, I've been building this culture of excellence and teaching these girls how to win, how to think like winners. We're really young. We have 4 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 3 juniors, and we only have 2 seniors. So it's not like this is just out of the blue. We're building slowly, and our ultimate goal is to win that state championship.
You fell to St. Mike's in 3 sets, and Coach, she runs a good program there. I had her on a couple years ago. And, you say, now, if you look at the roster, you said this. 5'7" is the tallest. That's Haley Gutierrez, your daughter, is 5'7". Vivana Dominguez is 5'7". Avery Castro is, Gianna Garza, 5'8", is your tallest player. So when you said the work that you put in, you said the verticals, you work on the verticals, things like that, you're challenged at height-wise, right? Now, I told you that the other day, that Western is better at the net this year. We got 6'2". That helps. That Lone Star Conference is a beast, man. It is. There's some very good hitters and outside hitters and setters and blockers and the whole, liberos, the whole thing. But you mentioned this when I listened to your interview with JP. You mentioned that. How do you overcome? And you look where your record is, 9-2. You went to the state championship last year. So tell us a little bit about that. You're vertically challenged. You said that they work on the verticals. Tell us about some of the work you put in. The challenges at the net with taller players.
And that credit has to go to Jennifer Wetton. She is our strength trainer. I hired her about 3 years ago when I took over, these girls are consistently in the weight room. They're working on their verticals, they're working on their agility. Um, we lift almost every day except for game days. And I've seen a direct translation onto the court. What they do in the weight room carries over onto the court. Um, the thing with this team is, yes, we are short, but they're gonna find a way to win. And every game looks different. Haley is a big, powerful hitter, but she's also very smart. She can find holes in the defense. Sammy Huerta, my other middle, is the same way. Um, my libero is fierce in the back row, Bella side. So we have a lot of different components that when you put together, um, make up for that lack inside. Um, they're very smart players. Their volleyball IQ is expanding. But no, we put in a lot of work in the weight room. So I just want to emphasize that is one of the things that we have purposely done over the past few years.
Your sister Jennifer,
Yes.
and she does she still work at Western?
Yes, she's
Okay.
actually the strength trainer at Western.
Yes. So yeah, I see her there. I saw her there. She was an assistant volleyball coach, I believe, last year, and I think the girls definitely have improved. You mentioned now. I think one of the things that people might be interested in because it's a different weightlifting program for volleyball than it is for basketball and football, softball. Everyone's got a program conducive to that sport. What do you work on as far as your sister, man? She's going to get them to work, man. I know that. I know that for sure. But and people got to buy into that too, right? I mean, there used to be so many things back in the past about weightlifting that have been proven to be false. Yeah, every team is lifting in the state for something now, for explosiveness, for vertical. Tell us a little bit about some of the weight workouts that the team works on with your sister.
What's kind of cool is because she does an individualized program, and so um, there for a little bit we noticed our girls had a hard time moving laterally on the court. And so I get on the phone and okay, Jen, fix this in the weight room. And so she would implement a lot of lateral movements, a lot of different types of lunges. They squat a lot of power movements. Um, but it's been really helpful to communicate that with her, and something that we're doing in the weight room is going to make them a better volleyball player. Um, they do a lot of bench press, a lot of rows, a lot of mobility type stuff as well. So, knock on wood, I'm pretty superstitious, but we haven't had a whole lot of injuries, and I attribute that to their work in the weight room for sure.
I think the other thing is the buy-in. Some people, but I think with the results you've had, because this is your fourth year. First year you went 9-14, finished third in the district, and went state as the 12th seed. 2023, 14 and 10, improvement. Second in district, went state as a 10 seed. Last year, 19 and 9, were co-district champs and fell to St. Mike's, and who runs a great program. They're a great team. You fell in 3. Now, one of the, I believe Isis Dominguez was interviewed along with Haley Gutierrez, and Isis, her dad, Randy, helps us at Western run the clock over there. I got to meet him and talk to him. I know Cobre is going through some challenges football wise because of the numbers, and of course we wish them well, man. You want to see those kids play those games, but they mentioned that our goal this year, and it's any team's goal, but you were there, had a taste of it, the state championship, and I think you look at the girls. Your sister's a driver, man. She's going to drive them, right? And you got to buy into that, and they have because they've seen individual improvement. I'm sure your sister has a measurement how they've improved, and it's improved on the court. And I think that's to me a building of a program. 3 years, right? Okay, you took over.
Yeah.
This is your fourth year, so step by step, you've improved. And the goal this year is to get that blue trophy.
And the thing about Cobre has always had exceptional athletes. We've had some really amazing athletes in all sports come through these programs, and it baffled me why overall we weren't more successful. When we took over, that was one of the things that we wanted to fix. This culture of losing, and we wanted to flip that around. And I had a conversation with Coach Keith Leopold for Teresa
Oh yeah,
Tide.
yeah. I've had him on.
And
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah.
he was coaching back when I played, so I've known him for years. And we met up at a UTEP camp, and we got to talking, and he was like, "Man, your little team is causing a lot of problems for other teams." And he's like, "A lot of people are talking about you." And I had no clue, but they were saying like, "Oh, you see that little team is like awesome, they're winning." And then he said something that I kind of took to heart, and he said, "Cobre is the place where volleyball goes to die." I was like, okay. So we started looking up the records, and yeah, they haven't had a winning season in a long time. And we started implementing a lot of things that that first year, they kind of were resistant to, like showing up on time. And, we practiced on Fridays and weekends. But slowly the girls have bought into it. I tell my girls, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Now
Yep.
I'm having a hard time leading my own players to the gym. So they've experienced the success and that hard work brings, and it is addicting. I think on some level it's addicting, and they like the the way that we're pushing them, and they're responding really well.
You know, Coach Leopold, man, I had him on about a year and a half ago, and you coached when you played, and a message from that guy, man, right? I mean, and then he said little team, so I think there's a chip on the shoulder, right? Because I can just hear your sister in the weight room, like, hey, I can hear it, man. I've been around athletes all my life, so that little chip too. I used to have it on the court, man. I sure did. I wasn't going to back down to anybody. In fact, I welcome those challenges a lot. Let's get it. So I think I can see that. Your team, hey, man, and when Coach Leopold says your team is causing some problems, you got to love it, right? Because that's what you want to hear. You want to hear that. And then the girls who have bought in totally, weightlifting makes a big difference. They get stronger. They jump higher. They couldn't do that before. And, your sister, like I said, I know her a little bit. Not, of course, she's your sister, but that's a hard driver, man. Let's go. Let's right. So I think the culture is a big thing to me. How do you change that culture? And it sounds, you're well on your way to doing that. And that's impressive, right? Because it's not easy to change cultures. It's not.
No, and I need to give a lot of credit to my coaching staff. My coaching staff has been built over the years, but the foundation, Denise Placencio, is my assistant coach, and she sees the little things that I don't always see. And so these girls get away with literally nothing. We're very consistent. We hold them accountable for everything that they do on and off the court, and I think that's a big reason for our success. Shelby Benfield, also, she's my JV teaching coach. But then we brought in Jasmine Black. She played for Silver, graduated from Silver and played for Western. I want to say in 2012, but I might be wrong. But she went to Western as a DS and a setter, I believe. And she's been working with my setter specifically. And I just looked up her stats, and she has 1,300 assists for her career, which I feel pretty good for her. And then this year we brought in Logan Dodge, or Logan Jones.
Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah.
She's been helping and working with our defense. So I think I've built a team around these girls that, we're there for the girls. We just want to see them succeed. And I think that's translating to them. The hard practices that we have, we're very demanding, very disciplined. We expect a lot, and they're willing to give us what we're expecting. And they're seeing the success of that.
You know what? Yeah, Logan Dodge, man, that girl actually played some basketball for us last year because, we were down some girls and, got into a couple games and, we played. I was watching very intently because I'm like, how's she going to perform out there? I haven't played basketball since high school. Logan's tough. Married one of our basketball players, man, Nate Jones, so I really like Logan a lot. Coach, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about this year's version of the Cobre High School Indians Plus. Show some pictures you were kind enough to send us after these messages on the sports desk.
True slow snap, steps up in the pocket, escapes, takes a shot, Broden Price! Touchdown, Manzano!
Ferguson sets Utash. Pulled off the block. Beautiful dig there by the 8th grader Denson. Ferguson sets the middle. It's Utash. All kinds of room in the back row. And that start at the 20 and they're throwing out wide. That's Cox Liggins. He's got a stiff arm and he's got the sideline. One play into the game and it's a touchdown for Cale Cox Liggins. Wow, 80 yards.
Here's the snap and the kick. That one almost blocked. It might have been tipped because that one's brought in inside the 45, round back. That's Gonzalez. Room to go. And he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Volcano Vista. Snap, fake handoff, Montoya, back to throw, taking a shot. That's Ethan Carter, who caught it for the touchdown, but...
The Ravens. Benjamin Vidales is back to receive. That's a nice kick from Montalongo as Vidales will field that one at the 17. Vidales up the field across the 30. Vidales finds a crease. Vidales across the 50. One man to beat, it's Montalongo, and Vidales is going to take that one to the house.
The motion man, those flakes. Gives Holloway Jr. looking for some room. Nobody's going to catch him. That is going to go 96 yards for Herschel Holloway Jr. He can run all the way to Tennessee for his visit with the Vols.
Yeah, it was some.
High end over end. They'll be able to end it here if they want. Give it up to 3. Now they'll get together with a little trickery. And this might work out just fine for the Hogs. It's hard to defend, and they're not going to defend it. It's going to be a 97-yard touchdown on the return.
Just mitigate the gap.
More football strategy.
Yes.
I like that. They will go with a directional squib there. It's recovered by the nice Caldwell.
39-yard line.
Gonzalez, one heave, down the sideline, has a man in the double coverage. Did he catch it? Did he make that play? No signal yet. They're talking it over. Touchdown! Oh my goodness! Back to pass. Looking. Has some time and he's hit. He has Ramirez. He jukes. He stiff arms. He's in! He's in! 3 missed Rams tackles allows a Jalen Ramirez touchdown.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744. Granite Passion are proud supporters of ProView Sports. They're located at 1309 12th Street Northwest. They're your one-stop shop for granite, quartzite marble, quartz, and install. Most jobs are completed in a single day. Give them a call at 505-242-1007. That's 505-242-1007. Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Hi folks, Marley Fletcher here, owner of Santa Fe Kia. You know, at Santa Fe Kia, we like the byline of Santa Fe Kia is where we treat you different. Some reasons why. I'm remodeling our facility to make it better for our customers. Our salespeople treat people with respect and the way they'd like to come and purchase a vehicle. That's why at Santa Fe Kia, it's where we treat you different.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk, live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on our Facebook page. I'm your host, Ed Nunez, our very special guest today, Cobre Indians volleyball coach Julie Gutierrez. And Coach, had a great conversation in the first half, and I want to ask you real quick about your own coaching experience. You mentioned, you played basketball at BYU, and this is your 4th year. Tell us a little bit about your own coaching experience before you started at Cobre. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, right out of college, I coached at Eastern Arizona College. I was the assistant coach for volleyball. And then I moved back to Silver and coached with my sister actually at Silver High for a few years as the JV coach, and then took over the head job there at Silver High, and we were pretty successful. And then they let me go. Obviously not my choice, and so we came to Cobre, and I coached a year of basketball at Cobre, and then took a few years off, and then got into volleyball. So basketball is actually my sport. Volleyball, I love the challenge that it brings because I don't know everything there is to know, and I'm still learning. So it is a challenge, and I love that challenge. But basketball is where I'm comfortable.
That's where you played at BYU. So, but I think it's always good to learn to coach another sport. You had your sister help you. We had a coach here in Albuquerque that's a legendary coach. Jim Holzman used to be the coach of the Albuquerque High Bulldogs. He also coached baseball, football, and he told his coaches, you have to learn to coach other sports. That makes you a much better coach. And I think he was right about that. We want to talk a little bit. I looked over your stats in 9-2. You've got Silver on the schedule next, and you mentioned no love lost there. And it's a rivalry. It's a rivalry game, man. I would expect that. Cobre, I told you, I've driven there, coming in, Howie Morales Field. I've only been, I know where Silver's at. It's over there by the Copper Manor Hotel. That's where we stay at. So it's not too far down the road, and there's some history there. And, yeah, man, and it's where you played. You're coming in with another uniform. It'd be like me, I played at Highland, coming in wearing the Albuquerque High. That would be so strange for me. But, yeah, I get it. You know what? They gave you an opportunity here at Cobre, and you're making the most of it. And I'm sure there's some regrets at Silver. I'm sure. But, hey, life goes on, man. We can't worry about that. On the season, 200 and I was looking at the kills. Haley's got your daughter, Haley Gutierrez, 197 kills, 5.5 kills per set. 34 kills for Kiera Aguirre, 14 for Isis Dominguez, 72 for Sammy Huerta. Avery Castro has 17 for the offensive side. 295 assists for Isis Dominguez. That's a lot, man. I was looking at your 696 digs, 392 kills, 368 assists. Tell us a little bit about that, because again, Haley is your leading kill, not killer, per person or anything like that. But she has 197 kills, and she's 5'7". And Isis, that's a chemistry there between them for sure. I'm imagining that. I just got done doing some volleyball last weekend at Western. So tell us a little bit about the team dynamics, the kills and the digs, everything that makes a good volleyball team.
Well, as far as Isis and Haley and their chemistry, Isis has been our setter since she was an 8th grader. We pulled her up after her middle school season, and at the time we were running a 6-2, and one of my setters after a game just said, I don't want to set anymore. So I look at Isis and I'm like, well, she's handing you her position. Do you want it? And she's never come off the court. That was 3 years ago. And so Haley also played as an eighth grader for me. So those two have had quite a few years to develop that chemistry. And like I said, Isis has elevated everything that she does. You saw in that one picture, her vertical is up there with Haley's, and she's 5'3", maybe on a good day. Um, so Isis is really elevating what she's doing. Haley is she's not your typical middle. She's very, very active. Um, like I said, she can power hit, but then she will turn around and dump it, or power dump, or tip. Um, she's really good at finding the holes in the defense. She's hard to stop, um, honestly, and there's absolutely no quit in any of these girls. You know, we talk about how every game is going to look different, and they just need to find a way to win. So you know, their chemistry, they get along. We have no problems with that. Sometimes girls are hard to coach. Their chemistry is great. They're a fun group, and they just work really, really hard.
You know, you mentioned volleyball IQ, tip, or sometimes people are expecting the power. Then I saw that a lot this weekend. Just no looks, boom, tip over. You know, it takes chemistry, a lot of trust. And you mentioned ISIS. I can't imagine anybody giving. I'm not giving my position away, man. I'm not. And she's never come off the court since then. I'm not. You know, again, I'm not. You know, I'm not giving mine away. You got to take it. You know. So hey, an opportunity rose, and she took advantage of it. But I got to ask you, the 696 digs, man, that is some great defense there. And the pancake digs that I saw that at Western this week. Amani Brown and Mikkel McAfee of Western and Amani Brown of Eastern. Man, wow. You know, you saw some hit the beam a couple times, still in play. Got to bump it over. They did. So you saw some great volleyball there this weekend, even though Western came up on the short end on Saturday. But those digs, tell me about the defensive end. You know, the offensive end, you mentioned the attacks, but the defense, that is telling me a lot right there. And again, we don't have the biggest size at the net, but the heart, the determination, the grit. We're not losing this set. You know, sometimes you have messy sets. Gino Fergoli talks about that all the time. But talk a little bit about the defense.
You know, and that's been one of our focuses from the very beginning of this season is we wanted to have one of the best defenses in the state and the best serving team. And so as far as defense, you know, I gotta credit Logan for that. She came in and she's been working with my DSs, changing up our defense here and there. But these girls, my libero, Bella Size, I don't think she's even reached her potential yet. And I mean, the girl is so explosive. She's fearless in the back row. Some of the hits that she has taken so far this season, man, it just kind of makes me raise my eyebrows that she's gonna go to Western on a scholarship for softball, but she's the type of athlete that whatever type of ball she picks up, she's gonna be an all-star. She's just a phenomenal athlete. I have another young DS. She's a freshman, two actually. Saya Martinez and Camara Ortiz. They're both freshmen. They're going to be incredible. Yes, they're already really good right now, but just wait. In the future, they're going to be phenomenal. Yeah, but our defense is fearless. We cover a lot of ground. You know, our blocking at the net has also gotten a little bit better than last year. That's one of the things we struggled with and that we wanted to fix. But being a smaller team, we knew we were going to take a lot of hard hits, and these girls are not backing them. There's absolutely no quit in this team, and they're really fun to watch. Last weekend, Billy Keene for silver was taking some really hard hits, and the girls were getting them up. So I'm really impressed, and I'm happy with everything right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. 131 digs for Bella Size. You mentioned her. Real quick, got about a minute left. What's it going to take for the Indians to take home that title this year?
You know, last year I think we were shell shocked. We had no doubt that we were going to win at state. Every team that we faced, we were were gonna win. But when we got to that title round, I think it set in that we actually had accomplished what we set out to accomplish, and it kind of blew their minds a little bit. This year they're way more focused. They know what to expect. We just have to keep working hard to get back there. And their mindset is, last year they were satisfied just getting there. It was a big accomplishment. But like I said, we were not satisfied coming home second. And I think that mindset alone, combined with the skill that they're still developing, will hopefully give whoever makes it there a better showing than we did last year.
Cobre Indians volleyball coach Julie Gutierrez, we thank you so much for being our guest on the sports desk, and we wish you the best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. For producer Alden Iwani, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next week on the sports desk.